Hi there, it's David with Yellow Weld. I'm jumping in to do a quick video on what to expect after you get in touch with Yellow Weld to help you with your project. So all inquiries are going to go to me. My name is David. I'm the founder of Yellow Weld, and I respond to the phone as well as email inquiries. So in most cases, we're going to be starting with pictures. So this can be reference images of what you're looking for. It will be pictures of where this thing will be going. If it's a stairway, I'll need a picture of your home. If it's a railing, I'll need a picture of your stairway, whatever it may be. And this helps us put a mental image together of the project and what will go into this. After a brief phone call or an exchange through email, I'll typically provide some initial pricing information and send you an article or a video that might be pertinent to what we're talking about. And it will help explain the process and the work that goes into it and the things that can impact pricing. These resources are a key component to our commitment to being educators in our field and expand the transparency in our industry. At this stage, it's easy in most cases to determine if Yellow Weld is a good fit or not for your needs. You might not know for sure whether or not you'd like to hire us, which is okay. But if you knew for sure that you didn't want to hire us, you'd probably already know by now. So one questions we get a lot is, will you come and see my project? When can you come and see my project? Absolutely, we'll come and see your project. However, there are certain things that may be more important and may be taken care of first. So us, just like anyone else, we have a lot of demands of our time, and so we know you do too. So our goal is to be as respectful with your time as we are with our own. And this can mean that we try to answer all of your frequently asked questions first. We give you a general estimate before anyone takes time off work or drives out. And this just helps us make sure that we're a good fit before we spend the time moving forward. So through our dedication to job costing, consistent self-education, and our responsible business practices, we're keeping a very keen eye on a lot of the things that go into the pricing of our projects. After every project we do, we dissect it. How did it go? What do we need to know for next time? And because of that, we are able to piece together a pretty good budget and a pretty good project estimate with fairly minimal information, a handful of pictures, a rough measurement, and a description of what you do is very often enough to get a pretty close price. So these key pieces of information are what we're going to be looking for first. If you've decided that we may be a good fit for you, our next step is going to be to schedule a visit. We're going to come out, we're going to take measurements, we're going to talk about additional design elements, logistics, and we're going to collect a project deposit. So you may be wondering a little bit more about what are the articles and videos that you're talking about sending me. So we're going to talk a little bit about our process, similar to this video of what can you expect. This is going to help you understand what goes into our pricing, what is our contract and why do we have one. It's going to be a walkthrough of our client onboarding process so you can make some sense of the undertaking that you're about to do with this project with us. Transparency is our favorite. It's really important in our current marketplace. People are buying things differently than they have before, and they care about different things than they have before. And we're trying to get ahead of that, and we're trying to keep up with the times in a way that many contractors are not. We have a fairly good idea of some of the previous experiences you may have had with contractors, and that is why it is so important to us to be good communicators and to be just receptive to what you're actually asking for. Because we've made such a commitment to change our industry and we've made it a tenet of our company and our culture, we're going to spend some time doing things like this video where other people don't, and we're going to share openly about some of the things in the industry and money and all of that other people won't. So another part of this that our clients like is the flexibility of the format. I'm able to share resources and information, and they get to decide when to devote their time and energy towards this project. So they're not coordinating a phone call with me on some really basic questions that I could probably just record a video, because if someone else has asked it, you may be wondering it. So I'm going to talk about it. Why do we take a deposit? We collect a deposit to pay for materials, to pay for the folks that are going to be building your project. And it's also a really important part of establishing a two-way trust. When we agree to do a project together, there is a social contract happening, and we have to trust one another. And so we're about to invest a good deal of our time and energy into your vision. And it's important for us to see our customers and clients investing in the project alongside of us before we get into this. And that helps us know that we are moving forward together and we are building a positive relationship. You may have read other things about deposits, how much is typical, how much is okay, is it good, is it bad? Truthfully, there's a lot of really conflicting information about this. And the reason for that is contractors aren't writing the articles. Home advisors writing the articles and things like that. So it's important to understand, every business has their own policy. It's based on many, many factors, and it's kind of a preference thing. It may be due to your project size. It may be due to the size of the business. Honestly, it's very much a preference thing and what kind of needs to happen for that particular business. We collect a 50% deposit in most cases because we like each project to be an isolated focus. And what I mean by that is when we work on a project, we want 100% of our attention to be devoted to your project, and we want there to be enough resources for your project that we can focus on that as well. And so what this does is this financially insulates your project from other ones. And so things that may run amiss or be a hiccup in a different project won't overflow and affect yours or affect the timeline of yours. So this is a good way of protecting all of our projects and protecting all of our customers against one another. And it helps us keep a reliable project schedule. So that way your money is going towards your project and yours alone. What's the deal with the contract? Many contractors don't use one. I'm sure many times you've interacted with contractors that haven't required one. The basics are we want to protect ourselves and we want to protect you as well. And this is really the only way to do that. Having a written agreement of some sort removes a lot of the anxiety for some about giving your hard-earned money to a contractor because it holds us accountable. So perhaps you've had a previous contractor that took your money and then never returned your calls. A contract is really the only legal recourse for how to fix that. So we clearly outline the work that we intend to do, what's included, what isn't. We talk about timeline and what's acceptable there, a payment schedule, a good estimate for when we expect it to be completed totally, and then what happens if it isn't. So no one wants to be in the worst case scenario, but it's important to have this in place just in case. The last question we get a lot is, will I be able to review the design before it's built? Yes, absolutely. It's the first step after we collect the deposit in most cases is we begin the design. I will be doing the 3D modeling and I will be able to send you some images and renderings of what we're looking at based on our project notes from previous conversations or our site visit. And we're going to make sure that that looks exactly the way that you wanted. It can bounce back a couple times and make sure that we've really got it right. And all of that's going to happen before we purchase any material or cut any material to size. And that just makes sure that everything's running smoothly. So rest assured, you will have an approved design before we move forward. Every project is allotted a certain amount of time based on our previous job history for correspondence and feedback to make sure that we can get this right. So that's everything. We're going to do another video on what to expect next after paying a deposit and moving forward with the project. I hope that you'll be watching that again soon too. Take care. Bye.